Actually, there's actually a broken window there now that we have to replace.
Yeah,
One
so,
of the big ones out front.
so it might be a better idea to just put a Knox box on it.
Okay, do you have information on that?
Yeah, they would have it in the office here, the applications.
All right. Okay.
A couple things. What we have here, it's not been signed by the owner. Is there a Mylar copy anywhere, sir?
Right here.
Let me see the Mylar copy. It has to be signed there by the owner, though.
Okay, no, I'm just looking up for
Yeah,
that.
I get it. But it has to be signed there. All right. There's a couple places on here that before we sign off, will have to be signed off by the owner.
Okay.
At the very top, it says the owner's adoption. That all has to be executed by the owner. It's not executed right now. Also has to be notarized.
Okay.
So whoever the owner is, if you know the new rules regarding notary publics, you know, that person will have to sign it in, you know, right in front of the notary. You know that.
Okay, exactly.
So that's item number 2. Item number 3 basically is another place the owner has to sign, so just make sure you're aware of that. Also, if the township decides to approve this subdivision prepared by Jonathan Mounts, you said there's going to be a shared driveway between both the current owner.
Right there.
All right. So what we're making a requirement basically that we're going to approve it subject, if the board wants to make approval, approve it subject to the subdivision being executed by the owner where necessary and notarized. Also, we're required basically that there be something, we'll stipulate that all costs be paid if there's any costs incurred by the township. Also, there's going to be a provision saying that the owner of this property, there's going to have to be a provision in the deed between, you know, somewhere saying basically that a right-of-way, shared driveway will run with the land. You know what I'm talking about,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Yeah, that way it saves the gunfight whenever one of you locks the other one.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, we actually own the building right up the street. We have a gas company and that leases from us across from the old gas station there. So they just want to buy this as well for, you know, gas and oil, so.
So if the board wants to approve, what's the name of the subdivision? I usually have the name somewhere.
CDEG
Okay.
Inc. Yeah.
If the board wants to make a motion to approve the CDEG period Inc. subdivision plan number 1 as prepared by Jonathan Mounts,
Has somebody reviewed to make sure this complies with land subdivision ordinance? It's been done?
Yeah, I remember
The
that.
office has done that?
Mhm.
Is there sewage on either of those lots?
Is there sewage on those lots, or?
Oh, actually,
I don't think,
there's public water.
There's
public
water.
water, but no
Not
public
sewer.
sewer.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what we
separate.
finally established, whether or
Yeah,
not.
yeah, I stopped last week and we asked
Yeah,
about
we
that.
were trying
Yeah,
to
Yeah, I
decide.
don't think the public sewer goes that far.
Right.
We believe it only goes to Greaves Road.
I think you're correct.
so if the board wants to make a motion to approve the CDEG period Inc. subdivision plan number 1, subject to the following conditions. Colon, offset number 1. That the owner execute said subdivision where necessary, and to complete those blanks in the owner paragraphs to the satisfaction of the township. 2, that said document, it said subdivision, be notarized as required. 3, that any costs incurred by the township, and any fees necessary to record the same be the responsibility of the owner. Next number. That the, that any deeds for said property provide for a shared driveway as shown on said subdivision, and the same is to run with the land, with the words "run with the land" in quotation marks. Next number, that the owner will provide the township with a copy of the executed subdivision after recording the same with the Recorder Deeds Office. And that should be your motion.
The county already okayed all this? There's a seal
Yeah.
down there?
Yeah. That's the paperwork came from first, was the one.
And one last number to that, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Last number,
6.
that any sewage, any necessary private on-let sewage system be the responsibility of the owner. If that motion is approved tonight, then basically you'll send that person, the owner, a copy of that letter. Okay?
Unless we need all of that.
Well, it's rather lengthy, I apologize. You don't have to read it back, I mean, unless someone wants you to read it back.
So there is one lot sewage on those lots?
No, he's just saying if there is,
That'll be the responsibility of
it's
the owner, not
responsibility
us.
of the owner.
I put that in there specifically so that in case the issue ever comes,
Certainly.
that it's their responsibility, he's aware of that, and we'll send a letter reflecting responsibility. Now, I'm certain that he's also been in contact with the Washington, the Sewage Council, or Sanitation Council.
Well, it should be a, an
Yeah, there
on-lot,
should be a
should
plan.
be an on-lot, system there on that existing lot, right?
I'm sorry?
Where the building is, there's an on-lot system there.
Is there a tank or is there a sewage tank?
I believe it's just a tank. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, But that's something he's going to have to do.
Right, that's our responsibility.
With the Washington Sewage Council, because
Right.
he's the owner. So
Right.
what I just basically put on the owner is basically the onus of that system itself.
Right, we actually talked with the Realtor, and he said the other option would be to pipe from the building down to the Township Road, and then pump it up to the top of the hill where, I mean, that's something maybe down the road, but
Yeah, because it's already existing, it's been there.
Well, but if he puts more, if he
Right, if he
puts
puts-
more, if he gets more GPDs to the system, he
Right.
may have to improve the system currently existing.
right.
GPDs, gallons per,
Right.
daily
I mean,
use.
it's more or less just gonna be a garage for trucks and a couple mechanics, so
Well, whatever it is, if you're gonna have to, that's your responsibility.
certainly, I understand.
You have a card, by the way, for our?
I do, yes, sir.
You need a motion to, I just, regard, like, put forth. You don't have to re-say that again, I mean, I think everyone understands.
You guys wanna know?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Somebody wanna make that Marvel in the motion?
Sorry, just,
I will make a motion that we approve, subject to the 6 conditions outlined by the attorney.
And you put those 6 conditions, will be placed in the motion in the
Yes.
minutes.
No, I have a
Yes.
question, I have a question before we, well, good, is somebody gonna
Motion on
second?
the floor.
I'll second.
Alright, now we got a motion and a second. So if we do this, then I'm gonna sign this tonight?
No,
No.
no, no, no,
Okay,
no,
that was my, okay.
no, because he has to get that
'Cause he's gotta
executed
get-
first.
The next time I see it, everything will be done.
Well, when you see it comes to the township,
Yeah.
you have to make sure it's completed, and I'll talk to Kathy, I'll
Okay.
talk to whoever looks at it, or Tammy.
But we won't have to have a meeting.
No, you're
So we won't
approving
hold them up,
subject,
we won't hold them up for a month.
No.
Okay.
unless you want to.
Please, no.
Okay, that was my,
I have a question.
yeah.
So we're carving off a parcel of ground from the entirety. There is a septic system that is serving the existing lot that's there now.
That's correct, that's correct.
What's gonna be done with the rest of the real estate?
Well, that belongs to Strauss.
Okay.
I believe he's trying to sell the whole
Okay,
98 acres
okay,
eventually.
all right.
But, yeah, it was like, it's like 2 separate entities. They had the junkyard, then they had like a parts garage.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Yeah, the full service side and the you pulled it side,
right, right.
separate.
In case you call me up, sorry.
Okay. Any other questions? How do you vote?
Kathy,
Yes.
Kurt, yes, Doug,
Yes.
Ed,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, down BTS. Yeah. Oh, I do, I'm gonna do both.
Tammy,
But
how did you vote?
we're
I vote
developing
yes.
as far as.
Sorry. I said yes.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're on the next thing.
Very good.
Previously tabled item, temporary water line with Range Resources.
I'd like to raise this off the table, please.
Correct.
I'll second it.
Oh, no.
Okay.
How do you vote?
Kathy?
Two buildings.
Whoa.
You have to vote to raise it off the table.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
right, hold on,
Yes.
say it.
Yes.
Garage
Yes,
there,
I vote yes.
across the.
Yeah.
Okay.
We own that building, we own the buildings and all.
Okay.
We own buildings all over.
All right, it's front and center.
Go ahead.
We'll be using local contractors and everything.
Late this afternoon, they made the adjustments. I know you haven't looked it over. So they can make a motion to approve the agreement for the water line with Range Resources pending solicitor approval and final approval.
As soon as you can go, as soon as you start.
Can we?
I'll second it so we can discuss it.
Okay.
Okay. Got a motion and a second.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, we know.
$10,000 a year.
I'm actually in Indiana.
And they're gonna bury the line.
Are they gonna bury the line?
Yes,
Okay.
what we preliminary, when we went down and looked at it, the,
Buildings in Indiana.
if you picture it, there's the township property and there's actually the railroad, which is owned by Columbia.
That's what we do.
And then there's the township property. So if you actually look, and we don't even know it, where if this is the railroad and this is the township property, it's at an angle. They can actually run the line along the angle, bury it, what would be our driveway, and then bring it up on the other side.
That's okay.
So it won't, and it's not even gonna get in the way because we don't even mow it.
They're doing directional boring.
So kind of they're gonna.
They're going under and then they're gonna come up and go along that area and then
That's
pick it up.
directional.
It'll be buried on our
It'll
property.
be buried on our property, yes.
Okay.
That's all we got.
Yeah.
Yes, it'll be on top for a little bit of it, but not where it will interfere.
Now, do I
Thank you,
understand,
folks.
Appreciate it.
do I understand correctly that they're actually paying us more money than you originally asked for?
We've gone back and forth probably about 7-8 times. And the last time they offered $30,000 and then they'd give us $1,000 whenever they used it and put a line down in our way. So I told them perhaps they should look elsewhere and they came back and said, okay, we'll give you the $10,000 a year.
And that's gonna be
$10,000 a year so that we can budget for and figure out,
for,
it'll buy salt, it'll do something.
Sure.
so it doesn't matter if they attach.
It doesn't matter if they attach, if they don't attach.
If
It'll
it's there,
be, it'll
they're
be
paying.
no, not if it's not there. As long as that, they came under the interstate, they will pay us $10,000 a year.
And we have remedy in there
Nice
if we're not,
job.
if they're giving us an issue.
Yeah.
We'll just give King off their water line.
Yes. Chief Commissioner said yeah.
Okay.
Just take it back, go out and whack it.
Sit over top of it till they,
Well, didn't they at first want to just, I mean, yeah, like you said.
Oh,
only
they
wanted to
were
give
all
us-
over the place.
They only
Yeah.
wanted to give us when they connected.
Originally it was, we'll give you 10, then it was, we'll give you 5,000 maybe when we connected, so we've gone back and forth.
Okay, so your motion was to
To
approve it pending final
Yes,
solicitor's review.
Dennis had some language he wanted to insert into the contract. Some clarifications. But the guy I was dealing with's wife had a baby in the meantime, so I had to track down who the new person was for a little bit.
Okay,
Vote on it.
is that it?
Okay.
Anything else? How do you vote?
Kathy,
Yes.
I vote yes. Doug?
Yes,
Yeah.
when do we get our first check?
Well, they're anxious to drill, otherwise immediately I
Tell them
find
that-
someplace else, and then afternoon they're like, we'll
They
give it
don't
to
realize
you.
there's a check sitting down there.
Yep.
Alright, so the solicitor will review that and then we're good to go. Alright. We're on new business.
Yay.
All right, keep moving.
Open internet access to municipal building for $20 a month.
What happened to the open access that we had here?
So that open access, they don't even know who,
They can't figure out who pays for it or where it is.
Well, I know where it is.
well, it's upstairs.
Yeah,
It's in, but,
It's free.
that's where it's at right now. We moved it around a few times.
yeah.
It was free.
It's hide and seek. Yeah, it was free.
It was free, but it's
The
not very
last-
good.
The last I checked, they said the bill was paid by the Presbyterian Church. That was the last, when he came out,
Because it was off for a while.
it was off, and then they said the bill got paid. So, and it's not in our name, it's in,
Well, I wonder what happened to the deal, we had free service here when the community
Well,
center.
see, the Presbyterian Church funded
that was
the
the,
after-school
After-school
program.
right.
And if they had issues, they provided insurance, they provided anything they really asked for.
Yeah.
So
So-
they probably are still paying for the.
They probably, yeah, they probably don't even,
I believe the
nobody
free
knows.
internet access might go to the police station. Isn't that the way it was when they came and talked to us?
yes.
Yes, because they would give us free TV. We said that didn't do anybody any good.
Yeah, it actually is for the police, that's the way that, so, they get that access over there. And then we have access, we have a separate access in the office. And this was, is it because people are coming in?
People are coming in particular, if you have auditors, if you have the engineers come in, they want an access and they shouldn't be on the township's access.
Well,
I mean, they're separate
We
from
could
the
never
police.
find a place to move the router where it worked well in the whole building.
Well, the idea would be
We've
that they
had-
would tell us where,
But really, we probably could move it off of the second floor now. We had it for a long time, it was out there in the hallway, in the window to the other classroom. There's a ledge up there, and it sat there. And it was fine, but they weren't getting good use of it upstairs. So we moved it up there.
So that, I mean, we can, like
I
I
mean, when we
said,
move it and see how it's working, maybe somebody will continue to pay for it. If it doesn't work, and $20 a month for open access is not a lot of money.
it really isn't.
right,
Because the fitness center would like to use it, and like I said, anybody else who comes in, they shouldn't
Well, the
actually.
fitness center probably has very, very limited access to it right now.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, saying it probably doesn't work.
well, I think you can barely get it in the gym. I only knew it because we were at comedy night, and Sam said, "Hey, look, open access."
Yeah, and it's, yeah. But a lot of them have open access, but all these are off here,
Mhm.
so,
We should have open access to internet. This is current technology.
I really
Yeah.
think we should.
yeah. So,
I never noticed.
I'll move that we enter into an agreement for $20 a month if it provides us access to the entire facility here.
I'll second that.
Who's it with?
Comcast.
Comcast, he'll come out.
How long is the agreement for, by the way?
We haven't. It just was preliminary discussion. We called and said how
So-
much would it would be if it was going to be $100 a month. That was going to be completely.
So technically, the same with Verizon. We sign agreements, but they don't hold a government entity to
Well-
any agreement, so.
Usually, though, we were able to get along with Comcast pretty well. I mean,
Yeah.
because they've got to come in and
They-
access poles in our right of way and do
Right.
things like that. So we
Yeah, they're.
strong arm them a little bit and they come around.
Mhm.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to have an open internet access agreement for $20 a month if, what was the if?
Needs to work for the facility.
If it works.
If it works for the
Right.
entire building.
Right. And I'll have them come out.
How do you vote?
Kathy,
Yes.
I vote yes. Doug?
Yes.
Ed?
Okay.
Is that a yes?
You're too far away down there, I don't think you'll be able to hook.
Yeah. I can pick up Wayne's. But I don't know his guest.
Yes.
All the town kids will be in the parking lot.
The 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
Previous, oh, yeah.
No, we're down here.
Pay for the stone,
Nope. What?
4 and 5.
oh, 4 and fire account allocation.
Check marks.
Yeah, that should. $13,248.60, 55% to West Delic, which comes out to $72.86.73, 45% to Claysville, which comes out to $49.61.87.
59.
59.
Those are the right percentages, Eric.
Yes.
I move we do this allocation.
Got a second?
I second the motion.
How do you vote? Any questions?
This is standard. We do it.
How do you vote?
Kathy?
Yes.
I vote yes. Doug?
Yes.
Ed?
Yep. Okay. Minimum municipal obligation information.
All right, will end up paying in December $12,188 from the general fund. We will owe it to the non-uniform pension fund.
The pension fund
Mhm.
for,
Non-uniform.
Non-uniform.
So the Act 205 MMO is what again?
$12,188.
We've got that from the state, correct? I mean, we have something from the state that says that.
It's-
Yes.
Yeah.
I move.
That's the worksheet that
That's-
Sharon
Okay.
ran the numbers.
Who do you use, PMRS?
For the uniform and non-uniform.
Both.
Mhm.
I'm assuming these numbers are the right numbers, I will move that we proceed with this minimum municipal obligation.
we're doing.
She said it needs to be presented as information, it doesn't necessarily need to be voted on. I mean, it is what it is,
I think need to
we still
vote on
own it,
I think it
we still owe
I
it.
agree with you.
requires a motion.
I think it has to be approved. Because the MMO is expenditure money.
It's
Well, we would
not,
have to do that later, this was just a preliminary.
it's not due till
This is-
December, right?
Yeah,
Why not?
this has to be
Oh.
presented to us by the end of the month.
And we don't need to,
The whole document, I guess.
Yeah, we don't have to, this was just the preliminary information that need to be presented to the boards.
You withdraw your motion.
well, as long as we're noting in there that we've received it, but we'll have to approve it at some point.
Yes, we will approve it later, but that was,
If it's not gonna change, I don't know why we just don't approve it now.
Pay no bill before it's time.
We're not gonna pay it, we're just approving it.
We're just-
Just
yeah.
approve it, yeah, once we. Is there something we need to look at?
If it's here and ready to go, I don't see any reason to delay it. So, cut check whenever you need to cut it. I move we approve it.
Please understand, the MMO is the municipality's 2019 bill for the pension plan.
Yep.
Calculated obligation must be paid by December 31st, 2018.
There you go.
The obligation must be met, I'm assuming this is regurgitating something
mhm.
from the state. The obligation must be met with general fund monies or with any general state aid to municipal pensions, which may be entitled to under Act 205. So if you want to make a motion to approve the MMO, it must be one's for the police and one's for the road crew? Or what? I mean, I'm looking at here,
One's uniform,
One's uniform, one's
Well,
non-uniform.
non-uniform, one
Well,
would be
the
the
police be
office
uniform.
and
And secretaries is the non-uniform.
secretary's non-uniform.
Oh, this is for non-uniform and police, not the non-uniform? Non-uniform to me is road crew.
No,
Theirs is,
road crew is a separate one.
So road crew is not PMRS.
no.
No,
All right, so this is basically, one is for the secretary and one's for the police department.
yes,
And you have, okay, so they're both defined contribution or cash basis plans, correct?
yes.
All right, so if you want to make a motion to approve the prepared MMOs for the plan year 2019, subject to the calculations being true and correct, one being for the uniform, AKA police, and one being for the non-uniform, AKA secretary. As prepared by Sharon Baylock, how do you say her last name?
Polish.
Polish.
A lot of whiteout on there.
Yeah.
The numbers don't change.
That's for this year?
For plan year
Yeah,
2019.
19.
So that's the
Yeah.
MMO. So you don't pay that right now, basically, it's my understanding. That'll be submitted to the Commonwealth Department of Revenue, as a special pension
Fun.
bureau, whatever.
Yeah.
They'll look that over, they'll calculate, they'll say yay or nay. Then basically you'll get, you'll get some monies to reimburse you, whatever, that's how I understand it goes. Excuse me.
Okay, so
Wait a minute, I'm confused.
Doug,
We're
Yeah.
paying, we pay the pension ahead of time?
No, you're paying the MMO. The MMO is going to be submitted to the state. The state will look it over, and the state will reimburse you monies up to so much, based upon the MMO.
And why do they do that?
Because the state provides, for uniform, they provide you 2 units, uniform being the police. They provide you allocate you 2 units of pension, okay? For non-uniform, they provide you 1 unit of pension allocation. Right now, I think the pension allocation, what I understand, is 4,600 per unit, okay?
It used to be our police pension was overfunded. For years and years, it was overfunded. And we didn't have to contribute anything for a long time.
Well, when you do your pension funds, you also have to make sure you can't, just so you're aware of it, I'm gonna tell you this is what I learned a long time ago. You cannot say, I'm gonna give you the maximum amount of allocation. I tried doing that with Jim Allen from PMRS, years ago, he slapped my hand. So if you make your allocation, you have to specify either an hourly rate, or you have to specify a certain flat amount. Okay, I don't know what you guys are doing here, but I'm just telling you what they're,
Kathy, didn't we used to have an actuary? Years
Pardon
ago?
me?
Didn't we have an actuary years ago? These pension
Yeah, they
plans?
came in and.
Yeah, they come in and advise us.
well,
No, I don't think we even, I haven't heard of
I
one
think
for
the
years.
actuary really just came in and audited the
That all it
pension
did?
funds.
Well, with PNC Municipal Retirement System, which is PMRS, they are the best from my perspective to use, because one, they do the actuarial work. The actuarial work is at their cost, so you don't pay, that doesn't come
I mean, that's
out.
why we haven't seen it for a while.
Right, because if you have an actuary like Mock and Hop, like that, we have in other different places, they'll charge you a couple $1,000s. PMRS will do the actual work, they do the investment, and they cut the checks. When you start cutting checks, you increase your potential for liability, and I've litigated those before.
Okay, just so I'm clear before we vote, we're submitting this to the state, and the state's gonna look at it and say yay or nay,
We're
and,
gonna make calculations, they'll look at, make calculations.
and
then they'll.
possibly fund part of the pension. Is that
The
what you're
state
saying?
gives us money every year.
They'll give
yes.
you up to one,
Yeah.
depending upon what your pension, you should have a pension plan document.
Okay.
You should have a pension plan document, which should either be an ordinance or an agreement with somebody. You have that, correct? That will specify,
We have several.
okay, what you pay in terms, the PMRS does it all. You have an agreement, you'll possibly have an ordinance adopting that agreement. And that specifies how your pension's set up.
All right, we got a motion?
Yep,
Yeah,
Got a
are you
second.
okay with what he
Oh,
said?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Anybody second it?
it's gotta be submitted.
Have Doug made the motion. Did
to
you
approve
second the
and,
motion?
Let's submit that as
I think I
required.
did.
Yeah. Okay, can you say it again?
Yeah, yes, I seconded it, just in
Okay.
case.
all
Okay,
right, we got a motion and a second.
yeah,
How do you
I'm
vote?
sorry. Kathy?
Yes.
I vote yes. Doug?
Yeah.
Ed?
Okay. Pay for stone for Ely Road out of Act 13.
So moved. We have a dollar amount,
It was 2,000 and some dollars. We haven't received the final bill.
it's approximately $2,000.
Yes, we had approved it before, but they said from the state, make sure we don't pay for it out of liquid fuels.
Right.
We have right now
Which one's that?
this one, the Johnson,
Thomas?
Thomas,
Yes.
2,639.
Okay, let's just say approximately $2,600.
$2,600.
Oh, it turned out we didn't need it.
Got a motion, got a second?
Second.
Okay, now I do.
If we have extra stone, I'm sure we're gonna have lots of mud this winter, so it won't go to waste.
Any questions? How do you vote?
Kathy?
Yes.
I vote yes. Doug?
Yes.
Ed?
Yep. Lien on the Pittman property, remove the cost of the lien from the 97.
I'm gonna let it be removed.
Depending on if the closing company agrees. Nobody's, we offered it, they haven't come back and said everybody agrees, but if it comes up, this will be the easiest way to take care of it.
Pending the closing company, Doug?
Well, either way, I think we need to lift that lien.
Okay.
I mean, I don't,
I just prefer that if the closing company paid,
well, it'd be
us to
nice.
do it instead of us.
It would be nice, but they
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, this thing been sitting there a long time,
Okay.
and she's deceased.
Got a motion and a second?
I have a motion from Doug.
Second.
Okay, second from Kathy.
How do you vote?
Kathy?
Oh. Yes.
I vote yes. Doug?
Yes.
Ed?
Yeah. Phone calls from McGuffey regarding road conditions.